Hello, CrankItUp. We are talking today with Tomas Haake from Meshuggah. How are you? Evil, is it?
The evil thumbs up, yeah.
Yeah. We're doing this in English so that our English viewer can enjoy it. But we promise that we are eating Swedish meatballs before and after, so it's still a Swedish thing, right?
Yeah, a lot of meaty balls before and after.
Bloody meaty balls.
Those bloody meaty balls.
You're talking to the press about the new record,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Hmm?
The record? Is it good?
If the record's good,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculously good.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't know. It's
No.
I mean, we're definitely happy with how it turned out, and it's always hard, especially right after you've done an album. It's so hard to really kind of step out of the bubble that is the band and try to like listen to it from kind of an outside point, you know. So it's you're kind of too much in it, you know, to really know. But so far, I mean, usually whatever people that we play it to initially and the press, of course, and that also helps us get a kind of an understanding of how other people see it, of course, you know. And so far the reactions have been really, really good, you know, both from the fan side of things. We had a listening party in LA, and people seem to really dig it, and the press side of things, you know, has always been really tremendous so far. So if that's like the overall like take on the album, I think it's going to be, you know, it should be fairly well received, and should help us to be able to work for a few more years, you know.
Well, you're huge.
No,
No?
no,
No?
no. I don't know. That's a bit of a misconception. I mean, of course, for the music that we play, we understand that it's a narrow niche of music, and it's not for everyone, and it's certainly not very radio friendly, you know. So, but if you take that into consideration, I would say we're a fairly successful band. But I think there's still a misconception as to how big we are. We have a lot of recognition and a lot of respect, I guess, within the bands, among our peers, and within the metal community, as you call it, you know, and all good, of course. But I think that also helps kind of create a little bit of a misconception on how big the band actually is. Our biggest market is still the U.S., and in the U.S. they think that our big market is in Europe.
Okay.
And so it's we're not as big a band as people might think, you know, but for sure we're doing okay, no doubt, you know.
You're getting by.
Yeah, yeah, we're getting by. Not getting rich, but definitely, you know, getting by, and we can at least live off of the music, which is the goal, you know. You know, at least we're not working as carpenters and stuff like that anymore. We don't really have any side jobs, but of course, you know, accidents can happen regardless, you know. So you're always sensitive to that, and luckily we haven't really had any major illnesses in the band or things like that happen over the last forever, you know. So, you know, if that keeps up, you know, that definitely helps the band too, you know, not having to go through those things. We got plenty of issues, like to get it to work financially, just because we kind of, now it's been 4 years since the last album, so anything like 3-4 years in between each album, it's, you know, that's kind of pushing it, especially 4 years like now, you know. It's for financial reasons too. I mean, of course we do this for the love of the music, but there's also that side of things. You have to make it work. Yeah. Because the bigger you get as a band too, you start kind of compiling other costs as well, and you start. We have a studio and rehearsal space that's quite large, and so that costs a lot of money, and of course we have salaries for the people in the band and so on. So there's also a financial aspect that makes it harder, of course, if it's 4 years in between each album, because after 3.5 years, it's not really, you're not getting the same amount of bookings anymore,
Of course.
just because the album's kind of getting old,
How come it took you 4 years
Well, it's not so much, I'm constantly interrupting myself. No, it's me. But we did a lot of touring for the Absen album, and also we've done pretty much, I think now 6 years in a row. Like every summer we're out doing festivals and stuff, and we're one of those bands we really need kind of to set time aside for writing, Then you also got to have, that's got to kind of coincide with you being inspired to write as well. So
in which way do you write the music together, and because you do most of the lyrics, right?
We don't really write a lot of the music together, though. No, most of the music is written separately, and then we kind of bring it together. And or for example, now with this album, as late as in the fall of 2011, when we were once we started really record and get the album going, that's also the time where we sit and listen to the more or less completed ideas, and then we discuss it, and that's the only time where we really work more together. It's when it comes to really deciding, on each part in the songs, and deciding, okay, is this song done now? Is it going to be like this, or should we try to do something else here for this part, or So that's basically nowadays. That's the only time that we really work on the songs as a band, Otherwise, apart from that, and earlier on in the writing process, it's usually everyone at their own station, doing their thing.
Who gets to decide in the end then?
Well, that's usually. I mean, the band is a democracy in that sense, So unless four of us would feel something really strongly, and the fifth one would feel something completely opposite, and it's this fifth person that actually wrote the song, then that person has got a little bit more of a veto over how we're gonna to where we're gonna take the song, But usually it's more of a democratic process,
Okay. You're going to Australia soon?
Next Wednesday, in a week.
How long will you be there?
It's not very long. I think it's not even 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Yeah.
Cool. And then?
No, not cool. Hot.
And then?
Yeah. After that, we're home for 3 weeks or a month, something like that, and we released the album 23rd here in Sweden, I think. I'm pretty sure. In Europe, 23rd of March, and then I think early April we go to UK for 10 days, and we come home for a week or two, and then we go to the US for 4 weeks, and then it's the summer festivals, and then it's a European run, and probably I would say maybe starting late September or early October, and then we got another US run to do within 2012. So this year is pretty much mapped out right now. So yeah, I don't know about next year though. I haven't seen any plans for that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind sleeping a year, but yeah.
Just sleeping.
Yeah. No, I shouldn't even say that. I mean, we got the greatest job in the world, but even so, you still get, sometimes, especially right after an album, you get tired,
Of course you do.
Ooh,
and you've been doing this for
that too,
very long time.
Yeah.
You
We're all in
like
our 40s,
other?
kind of. Yeah, of course. Otherwise, we couldn't do this, You can be in any way creative and create something together in a process that like a recording process, with all that it takes to kind of get that good,
No.
we couldn't do that if we didn't have that, you know, love and respect for each other. That would be impossible, you know.
True. Do you play all the drums yourself on this record?
Yeah,
Everything?
yeah.
You're back to basics.
Pretty much. I mean, we did that for Obscene too. You know, recorded live drums for it, and I know to a lot of people it was a little weird when we released the Catch 33 album, and we had old programmed drums on it, and we were very open with the fact that it was programmed drums too. So after that, we've been getting that question kind of for Obscene and now for this album, but. I think it's pretty obvious now when you hear the new album. It's pretty obvious that it's live drums. You know, you can definitely kind of hear that. You know, it's not like every little bit of soul is stripped from the drums. You know, there's still a little bit of play and differences. You know, in there, but it's, you know, we definitely want to with the Obscene album and this one. It's we wanted to write live music. That's something that we can, you know, at least parts of it, the album, you know, we want to be able to add to the live set.
Yeah.
And in that sense, you also want to kind of play it to kind of feel how it's gonna, if it's gonna work as live material or not, and stuff like that. So it's definitely something that I think came out on this album pretty cool. And I really dig the production that Daniel Bergstrand and Dugout Productions up in Uppsala. He put a lot of work into this, and the sound really, it's something kind of new for us, and it really goes really well with the song material on this album. The overall like production of the album is warmer and fuller, but it still sounds more menacing. So that's kind of a weird mix, you know. You would think something that sounds warmer would sound more nice, or kind of,
like,
you know,
hotter in hell.
Yeah, exactly. So it's you get a little bit of that going, but I think he really did a tremendous job. So yeah. Hello, people. This is the Thomas from the Meshuggah. We need you to continue checking it. It's a little site, it's a little CrankItUp site. It can be nice forever and ever. Bye bye.